we have an obligation to protect those who are most vulnerable, and so we want to see something move forward this year.
For months, Spotlight on Maryland has been investigating senior trafficking, a shadow industry shuffling vulnerable seniors to unlicensed assisted living homes to access their public benefits, such as Social Security, disability, and food stamps. Our reporting found more than 115 suspected unlicensed facilities in Baltimore City alone, and the issue has now reached state and federal lawmakers. We pressed Maryland Senate President Bill Ferguson on legislative action. One final one. Look, where in the list of priorities does shutting down unlicensed assisted living facilities stand in this session?
Look, I think that it is awful to hear the cases of what's happening to seniors who have been abused and taken to facilities that disrespect their humanity. We have passed legislation to create a licensing process in order to help protect those who are the most vulnerable. We still have a ways to go around enforcement. And so it is an issue out there, and you know, we have an obligation to protect those who are most vulnerable. And so we want to see something move forward this year.
We also press House Speaker Jocelyn Pena-Melnick on what her chamber is expecting to do to end senior trafficking. Madam Speaker, speaking of the Health Committee that you sat on and chaired for a while, unlicensed assisted living facilities still operate. Should Marylanders be confident that you're going to solve that issue and take care of the vulnerable citizens that need protection?
So when that story came out, honest to God, I sent that story to the department and I asked them to look at it, and that I want recommendations regarding regulations and fees, whatever we have to do, fines, excuse me, this session. So I already started working on it in the summer without being speaker and without even knowing that this was in my life a possibility, just because I care about that.
Let me turn it over now to Senator Elsa Brooks.
4 senior-focused bills have been filed in the Maryland General Assembly. Meanwhile, U.S. Senator Angela Alsobrooks also raised the issue of senior trafficking during a Senate aging hearing in December.
The Baltimore Sun reported last month as well on the disturbing proliferation of unlicensed assisted living facilities in my own state. And these facilities are housing elderly and vulnerable residents in substandard conditions, all in exchange for their Social Security or disability checks. And they're engaging in a practice experts call benefit or senior trafficking.
A former senior U.S. Health and Human Services official responded.
And this committee has had a number of hearings on the resources available to adult protective services and ombudsmen. It is minuscule compared to the serious abuse and neglect that is happening to older adults and people with disabilities.
Are you confident in the leadership at the Office of Healthcare Quality?
I am. We have new leadership in that office. She started this past year in 2025.
All right, thank you, everyone.
I think this is going to be a growing problem, not just in Maryland, but across the country, and it's going to be really complex in how we address it.
Weeks earlier, we asked Maryland Governor Wes Moore Senior Advisor and Communications Director David Turner about the leadership at the Office of Healthcare Quality.
So is the governor confident in the leadership at the Office of Healthcare Quality?
The governor is confident in the Maryland Department of Health ensuring that the Office of Healthcare Quality appropriately investigates all claims that come to it. I think that if there are changes that need to be made, we're going to work in partnership with the Maryland Department of Health of what those changes might need to be made.
So is the Office of Healthcare Quality doing enough?
I think I answered the question before.
Okay. Not a vote of confidence about OHCQ's leadership from the governor's office. Last week, sources said an OHCQ leader told staff in a meeting, "I want Gary to go away and leave us alone," adding, "I don't want the press to hear a thing." We'll keep tracking where your tax dollars are going or not to keep seniors safe from trafficking. I'm Gary Collins in Annapolis with Spotlight on Maryland.
If you have a story tip for our Spotlight on Maryland team, you can call the number there on your screen or email them at spotlightonmaryland@svgtv.com.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.